All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well. I'm Chris Phillips, your host of the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show. As always, we are here live, of course, taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Also, guys, if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, be sure that your questions are answered. I see Wesley Newmar. Of course, Rebecca in the house, Justin Lang for Brennan M, Todd Smith, Travie, Brian Dean. What's going on? Appreciate you all tuning in. Again, guys, it's a great day to have a day because it is game day. South Carolina baseball taking on Xavier today at 3 o'clock, sort of a random time for the first pitch, but with the impending weather in Columbia, South Carolina, game being moved up. So, again, we're going to rock on the Daily Crow noon to 2. Lineup's going to be dropped probably while we're on here, and then we will hike it over to Founders Park. So, again, if you're going to be at the game today, would love to see you guys out there. But again, really excited for another baseball game to get out in the yard. And you see behind me, it says battle, right? That's what we're doing today. We're going to battle through adversity. We're going to fight. Season's not over. We're 11 games in and excited to see how the boys do respond. But again, guys, I do want to hear from you, your questions, your comments, your calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Cody Gaskins, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you tuning in. Also, guys, you see the merch today, the hat especially, because we are sitting now just 1 week away from the start of spring football. The start of spring football. So, I'm pumped. I know you're pumped. And, you know, I'll tell you this because I just saw a tweet just now. And I'll tell you this, if you can't get excited about spring football, if you can't get excited about it, then I don't know what to tell you. When you got a new quarterback like Spencer Rattler and, of course, going into Shamer's second year and all the momentum and all the things we had to look forward to, if I've got to be the one to fire you up for spring football this year, and again, I know it's, you know, you don't draw any conclusions, what have you, but just the hope, the buzz, the excitement around the program, I think it's as much as high, you know, probably since Steve Spurrier's first spring in Columbia, South Carolina. So, again, guys, or at least during those 10, 11, 12, 13 type of seasons. So either way, really excited to chat with you guys here on this Tuesday. Austin Greer says, Chris, make me hopeful for the rest of the season. I can't lie. I'm almost tapped out already. Well, Austin, I just hope our team doesn't have that attitude. You know, again, this past weekend was brutal. It was abysmal. It's unacceptable the way it happened. But you know what? Again, you have one of two options. You can either fold and pack it in and say, you know, woe is me and hang your head and continue to lose, or you can fight. You can battle. You can fight, scratch, and claw. You can be a Gamecock. That's what it's all about, win anyway. And, you know, again, we all understand what is upcoming with the schedule. We all understand what is upcoming with, you know, who you're facing, right? Texas, Tennessee, Vanderbilt. It only gets more difficult from here. But, again, there's so much baseball left to be played. And I'm not ready to mail it in yet, man. I'm not ready to mail it in yet. You know, I guess I look at it this way, too. If nothing else, at least I get to go to the yard and watch baseball. Thank goodness for that, man. Thank goodness. That is a blessing in itself, and that's certainly something I'm not going to take for granted. As we've been looking forward to the season, you know, we counted down the days of the season, of course, and so I'm not going to mail it in, man, after 11 games. If the season plays out poorly, so be it. That'll be the case, but I'm not ready to mail it in just yet, Austin. So, you know, I would just say, hey, let's take it one game at a time. I don't want to, you know, feed you the coach speak stuff, but you sort of have to look at it that way, man. Let's just see. Let's just see what happens. You know, can this team grow? Can this team evolve? Can this team learn from its mistakes and improve? I mean, you got to improve, bottom line, or it's going to be a very, very long year. Again, want to continue to hear from you. Let's see. John Wilson says, Chris, I'm definitely excited about spring football, but one quick question. Do you think the Yardcocks will go 500 this year? You know, I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so, John. I picked them in the preseason to go 17-13 in conference play. Conference play hasn't started yet. I certainly didn't think you'd get swept by Clemson. I didn't think Clemson was all that great this year, and I still don't think there's some Omaha club or anything crazy like that. But, yeah, not a good look. Not a good look for your team. Losing to Clemson the way you did, and again, you got to find a way to respond, man. You got to find a way to respond. You got to find a way to battle back, and that's what it's all about, man. Again, adversity. Adversity in this game is inevitable. You're going to run into it. It's baseball. It's a game of failure. You got to find a way to respond, bottom line. And it starts in a game like today. Listen, if you beat Xavier 15-0, does it cure all your woes? Not necessarily. But to me, what I'm most looking for in this ball game today, and again, I know many are going to look at this as an afterthought game, whatever. We're playing Xavier at 3 o'clock on a Tuesday. Who really cares? But just about responding the right way. Who are the leaders in the clubhouse? Who are the leaders in your clubhouse? Because I know Michael Braswell's played good baseball, but he's a true freshman, right? Are some of those veteran guys, those transfer guys, are they ready to step up and be a leader for you? Are they ready to step up and shake things up in the clubhouse a little bit and put their foot down and say, hey, we're going to come out and play the game the right way? At minimum, you got to do that. Whether you fail or succeed in this game, you got to play it the right way, and you got to learn from your mistakes. So I'm excited to see how this team responds. Again, you're playing an opponent, a 2-9 Xavier team, a team that lost 2 of 3 over the weekend to USC Upstate, a team that got swept by Alabama on opening weekend. You're playing a team you should have success against. And again, while a big win or just a win in general over Xavier, it's not going to cure all your woes. You got to find a way to get the job done and give yourself something, just something to feel good about going into this weekend, because, again, we all know the task that lies ahead in Texas, the number 1 team in the country. So it starts today, though. Win anyway, battle, fight through adversity, give yourself something to feel good about, and we'll worry about Texas this weekend. So, again, want to hear from you. John mentions Aaron Rodgers, 4-year extension worth $200 million. Indeed, yeah, it's crazy. Aaron Rodgers is back per Pat McAfee, and I guess maybe since you got the contract details, I guess maybe it's official now. Yeah, big time stuff though. My good buddy is a Packers fan. So my buddy's a Packers fan. Todd Smith with a super chat. Todd, appreciate you, sir. Thank you, sir, for the love and support. Yeah, if you guys want to support the business on YouTube, you can through super chat, super stickers. Truly do appreciate that, Todd. Thank you so much again. Looking forward to getting back at Founders Park. Again, was a rough weekend, but excited to get back out there, see what the boys can do, and again, see how they can respond to adversity. And again, that's what it's about in baseball. It's what it's about in life, man. You're going to get knocked down, get back up. As Robbie Davis loves to say, when you get knocked down, get back up and fight through it. And, we'll see how this team, we'll see how they can respond in this game. Like I said, guys, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Let's see. Again, guys, in case you missed it on the basketball side of things, Devin Carter named freshman All-SEC. And again, I think we all agree, very well deserved. That young man, the way that he played this season, absolutely incredible. The future is extremely bright for Devin Carter, the diaper dandy, as I like to call him. Shout out to Dick Vitale. It was a blast to watch him this season for sure. So let's see. Let's start with the phone lines here.
Call from
Bill.
To accept.
Bill, what's going on? How are you?
Oh, hey, dude. What's up?
What's going on? Not much. Just hanging out. Appreciate you calling in.
Yeah. Michelle and I, we've been talking, and we're kind of angry at your show because I do remember about a couple of weeks ago you did not let Spider-Man onto the show. What's with that?
Spider-Man. We got to have Spider-Man call in. Love it. Sometimes we get spam calls. Sometimes it happens. Again, I guess we look at that as a positive, man. The business is booming when we got people trolling the show on a random Tuesday. So, hey, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Spider-Man, call him back in. Love to see that. Let's see. But yeah, John, will the Gamecocks go 500 this year in baseball? I mean, I hope so, man. I hope so. Because if not, again, these next, and we said it going into Clemson too, but certainly these next 3 weeks are going to define you. These next 3 weeks are going to, because again, the schedule does soften up. I hate to even say soften up because it's still the SEC. It's going to be really, really difficult, but it's going to be much more manageable after these next 3 weeks. But with that being said, after getting swept by Clemson, you got to find a way to rebound. I mean, I don't want to look past this game today, of course. You got to win this game today. But finding a way to salvage a game this weekend, finding a way to, I don't know exactly, guys. I don't know what exact records you need to go over the next 3 weekends. I don't know. But you need to win. You need to find a way to win. Again, you got to find a way to fight through adversity and battle. And that starts today. Like I said, that starts today with just having the right approach. Can you get guys in with runners in scoring position? Can you pitch well enough? Can you pitch well enough to lock down a win today and be dominant? I think that's important as well. So, as Brendan mentioned, by the way, in the TDC Questions channel yesterday, Gamecocks are still number 1 in the AP poll, talking, of course, the women's team. And I thought that was crazy, seeing the reactions to, if there's one coach on campus that has earned the benefit of the doubt, it is Dawn Staley. It truly is Dawn Staley. Someone that has earned the benefit of the doubt, where I just, you lose one game. It's foolish to mail it in or act like the season's over or anything like that. So, I say, guys, let it play out. We're playing for something even bigger than just simply put an SEC championship. We're playing for a national championship. So let it play out. Of course, Panic Ritter chimes in. Will you start the Fire Kingston train next month? Of course, Ritter, you would ask me that question. So I'm going to tell you guys this. Again, what I've mentioned before is that the beautiful thing about Carolina baseball, I don't have to really say anything, because the standards and the expectations at South Carolina when it comes to the diamond, they're very clear cut. There's no gray area. Mark Kingston's either going to win enough to keep his job, or he's not. And I'm just, guys, I can tell you this as someone, and I love Carolina baseball more than I like Mark Kingston. Okay, I've said that many times. But as someone who spent quite a while looking forward to baseball season, I'm just, guys, 11 games in, I'm not going to spend my time 11 games in. I'm not going to spend my entire season calling for coaches' heads. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, man. So, are we having problems with the Facebook comments? I tell you, Facebook has given us a real time lately. Facebook has really given us a tough time lately. Let me check and see here. Who knows? Something might have happened. Let's see. I'm not sure what. Let me see. I'm not sure what's going on. Guys, did you all hear intro music? Did you guys all hear intro music today? Is that what happened? Did we play the wrong video? I don't know. Facebook has just given us a freaking time, man. It has given us a time. Tell you what. It has given us a freaking time. I mean, I thought we literally had no music. Did we hear music on the intro? Is that what happened? Did we hear music on the intro? Yes. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what could be going on. I really don't. I don't know what could be going on. Golly. I do apologize for that, guys, if you're on Facebook and for some reason it's not showing up. Yesterday we were fine. I don't know how. I don't know. That literally makes no sense. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, another DMCA strike on Facebook. So if you're trying to tune in on Facebook, go over to YouTube. Yeah, read Globo copyright. I have no clue what they're talking about. Facebook is just on one, man. Facebook's on. I have no idea. Facebook is on one. Facebook is on one. So Facebook is truly, yeah, it's the Muschamp hackers at it again, folks. Muschamp hackers are at it again. So whatever. Tune in on YouTube. I will post the link here on Facebook as well. So, hey, you got to roll with the punches, man. Again, fighting through adversity. Fighting through adversity. You got to roll through the punch or roll with the punches, if you will. So, got to roll with the punches. I mean, maybe I should just stop streaming to Facebook and just, you know what I mean? Just publish the YouTube link on Facebook because Facebook's been so finicky, man. Facebook has been so finicky. Ritter, I think you should call on the show on Friday. I'd love to see that. I'd love to have you call in, Ritter. I think that'd be awesome. Let's see. Robert Hazel says maybe we can move our Friday night pitcher to Sunday and try to win at least one game per series. I just, can you really attack it that way, Robert, for the entire year? I mean, can you really attack it that way, my guy? You know, can you really attack it that way? I don't think that's a way. I don't think that's a philosophy that's going to work for the entire season. You know what I mean? I don't see that being a philosophy that's going to work the entire season. I think you got to try to throw your best guys when they're available. I think you got to try to throw your best guys when available. I think that's what you have to do. I think that's what you have to do. That's the way I would approach it. That's the way I would approach it. So. That's just this Facebook stuff, man. It's so weird. And see, it's showing the copyrighted content during the intro. So I mean, I don't know how how there would be a copyright strike on a muted video. I have no idea. So, anyways, apparently some people say they are watching on Facebook. I have no idea. I have no clue. So, yeah, you got to give your guy run support, Travi. You got to give your guy run support. Bottom line, got to give him run support. That's it. Yeah, how about somebody just commenting on Twitter? How about the Georgia situation? Tom Crean is out. Tom Crean is out at UGA. So, wild, man. Wild. I mean, they had a terrible year. Had a terrible year. So, it's not totally shocking he's gone, but yeah. Courtney, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, Courtney, we're trying to fight through adversity and just battle through it. And hey, great day to win a ball game. Great day to go win a ball game. Great day to win a ball game. Bottom line. Let's see. John Kruger, Georgia is 6-25 entering the tournament. Good Lord. Good Lord. 6-25. Yeah. That is not good enough to keep your job in this league. That's for sure. When you're making the type of money he was making at Georgia, that is simply not good enough, folks. That is simply not good enough. Wouldn't be surprised if Stackhouse is going. I hear you. I agree.
Call
Let's jump to the phone
from
lines here.
Father Watson.
Yeah, we're not taking that. Spam calls for days. It just happens sometimes. Every now and then it'll happen. Yeah, Travi, I don't have any clue who Georgia might go after. I'm not sure. Not 100% sure, my guy. Not 100% sure. Who knows? I mean, I think Georgia's fighting a similar battle that South Carolina is in the sense of like where does basketball on the priority list for Georgia? You know, where does it rank? I mean, I think there's no secret. Obviously, they're a football school, but how badly does Georgia want to be good at basketball? You know what I mean? How badly they want to be good at basketball? And I'm not saying that we don't want to be good at basketball, but again, that's just something that's like on the priority list, like in regards to investing in it and the resources necessary. Are you willing to put forward what you need to put forward? Let's see. Yeah, guys, again, those who might be tuned in on Facebook and can't comment or whatever the deal is on Facebook, I do apologize. I don't know. We're going to have to look into what's going on with Facebook. I truly don't know at this point. I mean, again, at this point, if I've got to just ditch the countdown, I guess I will. But it's pure madness to me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, yeah, hopefully, John, no rain on Friday. Hopefully not. You know, it would be something if we played a doubleheader on Saturday. But hopefully, yeah, no rain. Hopefully, no rain on Friday night. You know, obviously, I'm not looking past tonight. You know, or today we've got Xavier at 3:00. But that Texas series should be a lot of fun. We got a fun week as well, by the way, guys. Just some quick reminders. Of course, we got Tin Roof tomorrow night. The SEC tournament beginning on Thursday as the Gamecocks take on Mississippi State. And then, of course, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you've got the games against Texas, the number one team in the country. And I know it's daunting, and I know it's a long shot for South Carolina to take 2 of 3. But, you know, anytime you've got the number one team in the country coming to your place, that's, you know, it's a heck of an opportunity. So you just never know. You just never know. Yeah, Courtney, I do think Mizzou's coach is probably going. I think Quanzo Martin is probably on the chopping block as well. So, yeah, I think so for sure. You're saying possibly Florida too? Yeah, could be Florida. Could be Florida. Yeah. Florida could lose their guy as well. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, and calls. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. With Devin Carter's announcement today, the Gamecocks have now had 5 all-freshman nods in Frank Martin's tenure. So, been able to get good performances out of youngsters, that's for sure. Kusnard and Lawson, the last 2 to get the accolades. Yeah, Austin, I did see John Kruger commented earlier, Rodgers' new contract with the Packers. So, he is back. I really thought Rodgers was going to retire. I really did. I really, really did. So, yeah, really, really did. Again, guys, first pitch at 3:00 today. Would assume Gamecock baseball will drop the lineup. Excuse me, today around 1:30 or so. They normally drop it about an hour and a half before first pitch. Really intrigued to see who gets to start on the bump today. Really intrigued to see who gets the start of the bump today. I mean, at this point, who knows? You know what I mean? Because on one hand, you need to get guys work. You need to, win your midweek, obviously. On the other hand, I mean, you need to make sure you got arms for the weekend. So, yeah. By the way, those who are not going to be attending, you can watch the game on SEC Network Plus. Again, 3 o'clock first pitch. That game was supposed to be at 7 o'clock. They moved it up to 3 o'clock, which I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not too upset about that because as someone that records the podcast after the games, I'm glad I will not be up until midnight editing the show. So I got to admit, I'm happy I will not be up till midnight editing the show. Brian Lattimore says zero chance Rodgers would retire at this point. If nothing else, he would have played a few more years somewhere else. I think he's playing great football still. Yeah, I mean, I just, with that situation in Green Bay, it's I feel like Rodgers is one of those guys. It's tough to think of him in a different uniform, right? That's not Green Bay. So I don't know. We'll see how that pans out. We'll see how that plays out for him. So Brandon Kuhn, has South going to put out a spring roster yet? I think they have. I mean, I can check real quick. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they have. I could be wrong. Let's see. No, it's a 2021 roster. I thought they added the newcomers. I really did. I feel like somewhere a roster did drop. I don't know. I could be wrong. Oh, no. So they dropped the 2022-2023 signing class and newcomers roster. But they have not dropped like numbers for those guys or anything like that. So I think some guys we know of what numbers they're going to wear, or at least we've heard rumors or what have you, but they do not have a full spring roster out yet. Trevor, yeah, I think giving the ball to Aiden Hunter would be smart today. Yeah, I like Aiden Hunter. Yeah, I let him get it. Let him throw 4 or 5 for you at minimum. Rebecca Stranage, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Again, apologize for Facebook being silly today. Apologize for that. Yeah, Brandon, they definitely will put out a spring roster before spring practice starts, no doubt. Yeah. Brian Lattimore, you really think Tom Brady's got more in the tank? I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, he's had a heck of a career. I don't know. I don't know if he wants to keep going or not. I really don't know. So. But again, guys, big one today. I mean, again, I know it's easy to overlook it and say, oh, you're playing Xavier. They're 2-9. You should win. And while those things are true, today, like I said, I think is more so about responding to adversity and continuing to fight. I understand, man. I'm sure morale has been down this week. I'm sure it has. But can you fight through it? Can you fight through it? Can you be resilient? Can you be tough? And can you win anyway? Just battle, man. Just battle and try to have something to feel good about. Try to have something to start to feel good about. So. Again, guys, in case you missed it, podcast also to drop this morning, episode 613. Apologies for yesterday, guys. We are migrating over to the Blue Wire podcast platform and was not able to get the show up yesterday, which sucked. I was not happy about that. But at some point, you got to migrate over and you got to get that side of things taken care of. So again, the podcast out. Another quick update, by the way, since we're all basically on YouTube right now. Right now, our new platform, they will not be posting the podcast to YouTube the way that Red Circle did. And again, I'm looking for ways to get around that because I know many of you did tune in on YouTube. So again, I do apologize. Again, if you were looking for it on there today, podcast is out on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, everywhere we drop the show normally. But YouTube, as of right now, our platform that we partnered up with, Blue Wire, where we drop the podcast now, they are not linked up with our YouTube account. And I don't know that they even have capabilities to drop the podcast on YouTube. So again, if you're wondering what's going on, please be patient. Please be sure to understand that, with changes and migrations, stuff like that is going to happen. So stuff like that's going to happen. So I just want to keep you guys aware, keep you guys in the loop. And I'm sure that's something I'll mention on the podcast that drops tomorrow as well. And I just want people to know what's going on. But if you did listen in on YouTube, be sure to check it out on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. So Rebecca, I don't think Robbie Davis will be tuning in today. He actually hit me up and said that he was having some power issues at his house. So not 110% sure what's going on with Robbie. Hopefully he's doing okay. Let's see. Where was his text? Yeah. Okay. He actually DM'd me on Facebook. That's right. Okay. So he said he wasn't sure how much he might miss. So I'll tell him that we are on YouTube. So anyways, guys, taking your questions, your comments, your calls as well, 843-790-3377. Again, first pitch upcoming at 3 o'clock. We are going to jump into our first break. But again, I want to continue to hear from you, your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. What's up, guys? We're back. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls. Brian Dean says, I feel like if we win 3 games in the tournament, we will make the NCAA tournament. Is Tattoo Watch still on, Brian? What do you think? Is Tattoo Watch still on? I had honestly kind of forgotten about it because of the way the season closed out. And I thought you had I thought you put together a valiant effort on on Saturday against Auburn. I really did. But, we sort of knew, man. You went in that game as a 15-point underdog. We knew it was going to be tough. We knew it was going to be a challenge. But, let's see. South Carolina just dropped the stat broadcast, but there's nothing on there yet. So we should be able to see the lineup, though, pretty soon. How about this? So women's basketball, March the 13th. They are going to have an open practice. Doors open at 6 p.m. Practice 6 to 7:30. And then the bracket reveal show is at 8 o'clock. So that'll be a fun event. That'll be a fun event, a fun event for sure to get fans out there and get people excited for the tournament. So. Yeah, Brian Dean, Rodgers, 4 years, $200 million. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane. Brian Dean, no, Texas actually lost to UCLA on Sunday. So they are beatable, I guess. Will we do it? I don't know, but they are beatable. They are beatable for sure. Let's see. Yeah, Brandon Wagner, I think it's still very much a long shot that we get to the NCAA tournament, get to the big dance. I think it's very, very much a long shot. Yeah, you'd have to probably get to the championship game to even have a look at it. But, I mean, you never know, I guess. That's why they play the games. I'll tell you what, I think the game against Mississippi State Thursday is a really intriguing one. I think it's really, really intriguing. I think it's going to be, a lot of fun to see. One of the most intriguing things, in my opinion, is just teams were so good this year on their home floors. And I know that's sort of obvious, but how much does that change? How does that affect teams in the SEC tournament, I guess I would say? How does that affect teams in the SEC tournament? Do we see some teams that were really, really good in the regular season, be not so good? And for example, I mean, this game against Mississippi State, you got crushed. You got crushed. At their place, and then you beat them on your home floor. So, what does it mean? It's interesting, too. You're playing this team for a third time. A third time. So I'll be curious to see also what Vegas thinks of it. We'll break it all down later in the week for sure. Yeah, we'll break it all down later in the week. Yeah, Molinar. John Wilson, I don't know Facebook. They're just, I have no idea what's going on with Facebook, John. No idea. The Muschamp Packers strike again, I guess. They're talking about copyright issues, and there wasn't even music on the daggum show today. So I don't understand. I don't get it. I do not get it. So I don't know. Chase Floyd, I have not discussed Frank Martin's tweets. I'll say this. It was very random. I mean, I feel for Frank, guys. Like I've told you before, I feel for Frank Martin because on one hand, everything he says is right. You know, this is probably the most stability over a decade run that we've ever had, you know, and that just speaks to how bad the history and tradition of South Carolina men's basketball has been, right? So, but everything he says is correct. You know, everything he says is correct. But the problem is, all folks really care about is, did you make the NCAA tournament or not? That's what it comes down to. Did you make the tournament or not? And the fact of the matter is, if you don't make the tournament, then it's like, well, what did you do in that season? You know, what did you do in that season? So, what did you do in that season? So I will tell you this. Listen, Frank Martin is a grown man. He's a human being, and he's entitled to use Twitter however he feels necessary. But I will say, and you know what? If you go in somebody's mentions and they want to reply to you, all is fair, right? It's Twitter. That's literally what it's about. But it's strange that the head basketball coach at the University of South Carolina feels the need to respond to like anonymous accounts. You know what I mean? So it's not my favorite thing in the world. It's not my favorite thing in the world. But I'm not going to make a big deal of it because Frank Martin's future at South Carolina is not going to be determined by what he tweets and what he doesn't. It's going to be about how many games do they win? You know, what do they do on the floor? What do they do in recruiting? That's what it's going to come down to. That's what it's going to come down to. So. Brian Dean, yeah, we got to have more guys step up for sure, kind of like a Michael Braswell. And then, listen, the way he's playing the game and attacking the game, I want to see that from everybody. Just, if nothing else, at minimum, like I said today, go play the game the right way. Go play the game the right way. Go attack the day the right way. You know, 3 o'clock first pitch. 3 o'clock first pitch. You know, go attack the day the right way, bottom line. John Wilson says, do you think Frank will get GG? I don't know, man. I think there's been a lot of momentum, positive momentum around him coming here. Who knows? When you got UNC and some of these other blue bloods in the mix, it's tough to imagine that we're going to be able to keep him. But, I mean, then again, you never know. And he talked about why he would come to South Carolina and being sort of that dude to change things. You know, talking about that Jadeveon Clowney was that guy in football, and he felt like, Sindarius Thornwell was kind of that first guy in basketball. Maybe he can be that guy yet again. So we will see. I mean, it'd be a huge get. And I talked about that, guys, early in the season too, that, after we started 1-4, and I started to bring up the Frank Martin conversation. After we started 1-4 and I started to bring up the Frank Martin conversation, I said that one of 3 things had to happen to re-energize the program and to make a case for Frank Martin continuing to be the head coach here past this season. Number 1, simply put, is just win. It was win, turn the season around, get to the NCAA tournament. Number 2, land a game-changing prospect that will fire up the fan base, fire up those surrounding Gamecocks basketball, and maybe serve as a spark for the future. And the third one was making a change at the top, at head coach, reevaluating what you're doing in regards to the future of your basketball program. So if you're able to land G.G. Jackson, obviously that falls in one of those 3 categories. And that could change the future of South Carolina basketball. And again, guys, I've told you I'd bank on Frank Martin being back next year at this point, especially if you land a G.G. Jackson. I mean, especially if you do. And it sounds like if you don't keep Frank, you got no chance. So, we have not landed enough big-time guys to, I think, turn down a guy like Gigi if he really wants to come here. So we'll see what happens. But again, if Frank Martin can do one of those three things that I mentioned, or if one of those three things happens, I should say, maybe it makes a case for his return, right? Justin texts in, says, I feel so bad for Furman basketball. What a heartbreak. Tom Crean is gone. We still don't know about Frank Martin's future yet. I know some Gamecock fans are ready for a change. Yeah, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I think a lot of fans are, actually, to be honest with you, man. I don't know what I'd put the percentage at, because the Frank Martin defenders are still very vocal. They're very loud, which is great, which is good, But there are plenty out there that are ready. And again, guys, as I've told you before, I just want there to be real standards and expectations of winning. I really do. I don't see South going to be a program that's going to get to the tournament every single year. Maybe that's a little bit above, what we're capable of, unfortunately. But getting to the tournament 3 to 4 times every decade, I don't know why that's not doable. You know what I mean? And why asking for that is asking so much. I just don't know why. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens again with the future of Gamecocks basketball. And I think the one thing, too, that you have to keep in mind, with this program, I don't know that there's really an easy answer. You know what I mean? I don't think it's just some quick fix, easy answer to fix South Carolina men's basketball. I don't know that there is. So, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Brian Dean, Georgia firing Tom Crean. I don't think that was a surprise either. The season they had, how rough it had been. Yeah, I don't think that was like really shocking to me either. And then especially you had the accusations during the season, right, of coaches getting in fights and all. So let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Brian Lattimore.
Brian, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
So I just wanted to weigh in on your Frank Martin comments and kind of provide an analogy. I kind of look at the situation we're in with Frank Martin as kind of like, jobs that I've had in the past, right? So maybe I consider my second or third job. There was something to kind of get me over the hoop, try to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. Fast forward a little bit, let's say, I get to my 5th job. It's a pretty good job, making a little bit of money, but it's not necessarily where I want to be long term. I kind of, you want to give it that chance to be something better, but you get to the point where you're kind of tired of it and you're looking for like a change of pace. I feel like that's where we're at with Frank Martin. We have higher expectations, higher aspirations of trying to, make it over that next step. So you can't make that jump of being a very terrible program to jumping straight into being a contender every year. You kind of have to make it in steps. And, I think Frank Martin's done that, right? I think you could probably argue he's the best coach we've ever had, for Carolina basketball. But just because he's the best we've ever had, does that mean we can't do better? And I'm not saying that we move on after this year. To be perfectly honest, I don't think we do. I don't think there's any chance, with Gigi on the market of wanting to come here. I don't know what I think. Frank's on what? He's on a 1-year deal right now. He's done after this year until they restructure his contract. Correct?
I believe so.
So I'd be highly surprised, if they didn't come out with a new contract for him. And if he lands Gigi, which I think we'll know before he gets a new contract, I'd be surprised if they just did another year. I mean, if he lands Gigi, I wouldn't be surprised if they only gave him another 2 or 3 years. So we'll have our answer before long on what's exactly going to happen. And I don't really see at this point that there's any chance that they let him go, unless for some reason Gigi goes out elsewhere.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on, man. And again, I'm fully expecting Frank Martin back. And again, it's just really tough because when you look in comparison to what South Carolina has done historically, then, Frank Martin's doing a bang-up job. But, fans got a taste of a Final Four, man. They got a taste of what it felt like to make a run in the NCAA tournament. And so people ask themselves, why couldn't we build on that? You know, why can't we do that again? Why can't we just even get back to the tournament again? And it's the feeling of doing the same thing. I think you would obviously agree. I think it's just doing the same thing over and over again every year where, you know, you lose these games early in the season that really hurt you. And it's just typical of Frank Martin teams to come on late and to, you know, play their best basketball late. And that's all fine and dandy, man. That's great. You know, that's great. That's great. But it's a vicious cycle. You know what I mean? It's a vicious cycle right now. Now, again, if he's getting G.G. Jackson, I'm not going to kick and scream that Frank Martin is returning. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? Because we could be much worse off. We could. There are much worse options than a Frank Martin. But I guess my question would be this. Is there ever going to be a moment where there's real pressure to win with Carolina men's basketball? Like real competitive pressure to where it's like we really do go into a season and say, okay, this is the year that it's truly, if you don't make the NCAA tournament, we have to at least consider moving a different direction. Is that ever going to happen? You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't know that it will. I don't know that it will. And again, I don't dislike Frank, got no vitriol to Frank. And, you know, I hate to say it, but they overachieved this year in my mind because I picked them to go 6-12 in SEC play. And sure enough, you finished 500, which I didn't think at any point was going to be possible. I really didn't. I really, really didn't. So, but again, it's doing just enough to keep him around. And I think that's what's frustrating too with the Frank Martin era is you've been just good enough to win some games and do some things that haven't been done before because the history's been so bad here. But for the most part, you haven't been good enough to win anything of real significance. And that's kind of what sucks. You know what I mean? That's what's tough pill to swallow. So, yeah, if you get GG, man, it obviously changes some things, but we'll just have to wait and let it see it play out. You never know. We could make a run in the SEC tournament, and who knows what'll happen. But yeah, it's again, the bottom line is this: it's not an easy answer when it comes to Gamecocks men's basketball. It's not. I wish it was a simple answer. I don't think it's very simple. See, the Muschamp thing was simple, right? He was a bad head coach. That was a very simple, easy decision, in my opinion. He was a bad head coach, no question. He was bad at Florida. He was bad here, no doubt. Again, I don't think Frank Martin's a bad basketball coach. I really don't. You know, I think most would agree. I mean, you don't get to a Final Four and do what you've done in your history coaching if you're a bad basketball coach. But it's just at what point do you raise the bar, raise the level of expectations, and demand more? And you know, I don't know. I don't know. Again, not a simple answer.
Yeah, I agree with you for the most part. The only thing I disagree with is the expectations. You know, will they ever change? And I think they do. I think they will. You know, I think we're in a day and age now of social media where everybody can kind of get together and, you know, your voices can finally be heard. It wasn't always like that in the past. Mm-hmm. You throw on top of that, landing a guy like G.G. Jackson, you telling me Gamecock fans wouldn't be fired up to land somebody like that to go out next year and underperform? I mean, I think you maybe get 2 years, you know, and that's assuming G.G. is not a one and done, which we all know he very well may be. So you go out there and land a guy like that, and you still can't make the tournament. Yeah. You still can't make that next step. There's going to be you think the fire is bad now. There's going to be a real fire under his ass if he can't do something landing a guy like that.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point for sure. That is a very, very good point. So, if you land GG,
you got to do something.
Yeah, you miss it again next year. I mean, and you're going to have Devin Carter back, and I don't know exactly who's going to return and who's not, but you're going to have what feels like a pretty damn solid squad back. So, yeah, at some point you got to break through, man. At some point you got to break through.
Yeah, so that's really the biggest reason why, you know, at this point I don't think it's even worth considering whether Frank will be back. You know, I think he's got a couple more years at the very least. You know, we're going to see what transpires. You know, we're obviously at this point assuming that GG's coming here. We got to see what he can do with it. You got a guy like Devin Carter, and like you said, whoever else. You're in a good place as far as the program's concerned, but you have to translate into wins. bottom line, point blank, we thought it was pretty clear going into this season. In my mind, it's clear what the slate looks like for the next couple of seasons.
Yeah. No, for sure. Hey, well said, my friend. Well said. We'll just have to see how it plays out, but very well said.
Right on. All right, man. I'll catch you next time.
Brian, appreciate the call, my guy. Thank you so much. Good stuff. 843-790-3377. Guys, it's 843-790-3377. We're going to jump into another break, but again, I want to continue to hear from you guys. More of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well here on this Tuesday. And, of course, it is game days. Gamecocks baseball taking on Xavier at 3 o'clock. So coming up very shortly, we'll be out at Founders Park. Taking in the boys, looking to bounce back, man, after a really tough weekend. We've reached the second hour, by the way. Appreciate you all, your love and support, man, tuning in. You guys have no idea how much it means to me. Obviously, I'm extremely grateful for each and every single one of you, and certainly do not take it for granted. You guys tuning in each and every single day. I do apologize for the Facebook stuff. Facebook just has a mind of its own, folks. I have no idea. Literally, we took the music off the intro video to avoid any sort of copyright issue, whatever, and for some reason, there's still a copyright issue. So I guess I'm going to reevaluate and see did I miss anything. Did I miss anything? Brian Dean asked, Chris, how do I join the Big Cock Club? Yes. If you want to join the Big Cock Club, patreon.com/Big Cock Club, or go to the link in bio in our social media channels, any of them. You'll see our link tree, and you can click Big Cock Club, and you can join there today. You can join there today. So we can patreon.com/Big Cock Club, or click that link in bio in social media to join today. And also, Brian, if you want me to, I can go ahead and just drop that right here, that Patreon link. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. All right. Dropping that link now, Brian. There you go. Anybody else who may be interested, there's the link for you. Patreon.com/Big Cock Club. And again, guys, with that, you get exclusive access to content, our new and unique interviews, which will be coming back very, very soon. We've been super busy with things with baseball and basketball season. Also, you can be a part of our private Discord that we talk in and chat in a bunch. Also, some other new exciting things rolling up soon as well. Let's see. Looks like we had a text here from Robbie Davis. Let's see. What does Robbie have to say? Robbie Davis says, I just want to say that my prediction for this weekend, Robbie has us winning 2 out of 3. God bless it. I hope so, Robbie. Also, us winning tonight, South Carolina 5, Xavier 2. I love that. God, I would love to see the Gamecocks win 2 of 3 this weekend against Texas. Wouldn't that be just the craziest? Wouldn't that just be the craziest thing ever? To see South Carolina get swept by Clemson and then get swept by Clemson and then beat Texas 2 out of 3. Kage Torn says, how do you feel with the baseball game today? Feel good. Yeah, I got the Gamecocks winning 9-2. In case you missed my prediction, I do have South Carolina getting the win today. Xavier, 2-9 ball club, and I know you just lost and got swept by Clemson. But I do think you bounced back the right way today. And today's all about just battling through adversity, man. Just fighting through it. Being better than you were yesterday, and not letting a hangover occur, if that makes sense, from the weekend. Not letting a hangover occur. So. Let's see again, guys. 107 here on this Tuesday, 107. Again, I do apologize, guys, if you're trying to tune in on Facebook. Muschamp hackers strike again. So either way, Chase Floyd. Courtney White says they hate you. Yeah, I think Facebook. I don't know. I don't know what. And what I hate is like the majority of our audience tunes in on Facebook. So, Brian Dean, appreciate you, Brian. Thank you, sir. Brian, the newest member of the Big Cock Club. Appreciate you, Brian. That means the world, my friend. That means the world. So that means the absolute world, man. I truly do appreciate it. And yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So. Thank you so much. Chase Floyd, who is projected to win the SEC regular season this year in baseball? Very good question. That was, I believe, it depends on who you were looking at. I think Arkansas and Ole Miss were the two popular ones to win the entire league. Vandy, of course, was picked to win the SEC East. But depending on who you look at, Arkansas or Ole Miss, it was one of those two teams. So, I mean, Arkansas, of course, one of the best teams in all of college baseball. I mean, Ole Miss right there with them. Vandy, too. The SEC's a gauntlet, man. The SEC is probably going to get 10 teams in a postseason. So that's why I'll say, guys, that's why I will say this. This past weekend sucked. It did. It sucked. It sucked. But the season's not over. I mean, it's not. If you can find a way to improve some things, get Julian Bosnick back, you know, you could still maybe find yourself at 500 SEC play. You could. You very well could. So, again, it's a long season. It's a long season. Of course, certain things have to happen, but the season is far from over. The season's far from over. And this is not me trying to sugarcoat what happened over the weekend or say that it was acceptable or that we should be okay with it. You shouldn't. You shouldn't be okay with it. Bottom line, it is unacceptable. But the season is not over. The season is not over. Okay. The season is not over. So, you know, let's see what happens. Let's see it play out. I'm not saying you're not fighting an uphill battle right now. I'm not saying that things aren't, you know, that we're not taking on adversity right now. Of course we are. We all know that. But, you know, the season's not over. That's what I want everybody to understand. How about Gamecocks softball right now? Beginning their doubleheader out of the ballpark. Looks like a beautiful day for it for sure. I mean, of course, we'll be out there shortly. But, yeah. Rebecca, yes, the Big Cock Club, $9.99 per month. $9.99 per month. If you want more details, Rebecca, just shoot me a DM. And I got you. I got you for sure. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. Like I said, quick reminder, podcast did drop this morning. Episode 613. Breaking down everything with today's game against the Xavier Musketeers, by the way, did anybody know that Xavier's mascot were the Musketeers? I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. I genuinely was clueless in regards to what their mascot was, because every time that I had seen Xavier's logo, it's just an X, right? And they actually do have a secondary logo that has a musketeer, but I don't think I'd really ever seen that one. So, yeah, I didn't really know till yesterday that the Xavier mascot were the Musketeers. So, the more you know. The more you know here on a Tuesday. The more you know. Bad day to be a musketeer, I guess. Which, every time I say that, I keep thinking of like Mouseketeer, you know, from like Walt Disney World. That's all I think of. So, I don't know. Musketeer is an interesting mascot, to say the least. But either way, Xavier coming to town. Should be an interesting ball game for sure. Like I said, guys, they actually opened up their season against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Okay, Alabama Crimson Tide, and got swept that weekend. Again, they're 2-9 overall. Lost 2 of 3 this past weekend against USC Upstate. So you feel like this should be a day where the Gamecocks should be able to have something to feel good about. You should be able to win the ball game. There's no question. And you need to come out, like I said, guys, more importantly than anything, come out and play inspired baseball. That's it. Come out and play inspired baseball. That's really what it comes down to for me. Again, I know things get tough. They get hard. They get really hard. And it challenges you mentally. But you've got to lock in. Remember all that work you put into the offseason, and don't abandon the grand plan, but rally around each other and continue to fight. So that's what I want to see more than anything. And some guys that are having fun today. It's a game. It's baseball. Things happen. It's a game of failure. Go out and rebound. Respond the right way. Yeah, Courtney, I know that Xavier's always been a really big time basketball school. I guess I just never paid attention to the point where I knew their mascot was the Musketeers. I did not know that for some reason. I did not know that. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls. A couple quick reminders. Again, tomorrow night we are back at 10 Roof, taking your questions and comments and hanging out there. Going to be a really good time. Also, Thursday, the SEC tournament gets going against Mississippi State. 6 o'clock tip-off there. We'll have full coverage of the game, of course, as always. And then this weekend, Friday through Sunday, hey, buckle up. You take on the number one team in all of college baseball as Texas comes to Founders Park for a showdown, a rematch of last year in a series that Texas swept you a year ago. So, and I think Texas, looking at social media, I think their fans will travel fairly well. I think their fans will travel fairly well. So I'm excited for it. Looking forward to it, man. And again, it's a great opportunity. Anytime you're taking on the number one team in all the land, it is a great opportunity. It is. So it might be a daunting task, but it's also a great opportunity. John Kruger says, let's see. I was just thinking about whenever Spencer Rattler, the NFL draft, when he gets introduced as the pick for a team, it'll be with a certain number one pick. Some team picks Spencer Rattler, quarterback of South Carolina. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Somebody asked me this actually earlier. I've had this question asked a lot. Do you think Spencer Rattler's here longer than a year? How many years will he be at Carolina? And guys, hear me out. I hope he's not here longer than a season. And here's what I mean by that. If he's gone after this year, guess what it means, guys? He got drafted, which means he had a really good year, which means we probably had a really, really good year, right? So, I mean, dude, I hope he's a Heisman candidate. I don't want him to have to come back because he didn't play his best football and he needs to come back again to re-solidify his draft stock. We don't want that. We want to see him drafted. We want to see him go to the next level and play football to the level of being able to go to the next level. Okay? So that's what we want to see. Same thing goes with G.G. Jackson. Some people are like, well, do you really want a one and done? Yes. If you're bringing in players that are that type of caliber, that are that good, they can go one and done. That is a positive for your basketball team. Let's jump to the phone lines real quick.
Call from
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk.
There he is.
to accept.
Robbie, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
Well, aside from my power being out, I'm doing fantastic. But my power just cut back on. So
Power just cut back on. We love to hear that.
But I sent. Did you get my text I sent in?
Yes, about your prediction. You got Carolina beating Texas 2 out of 3.
Yes, I got us beating Texas 2 out of 3. And I got us, of course, taking care of business tonight against Xavier. Because I truly think that our pitching staff wants to prove a point this weekend and tonight, that we're better than what we showed the last couple of weeks. And I think they can. I think tonight and this weekend they'll do that. Because just like during football season, you've got to trust the coaching staff and let them do what they're getting paid to do, what they're getting paid millions of dollars to do.
Right.
Just sit back and enjoy it and just let them do their job.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, I mean, it's early in the season. You got to continue to fight, and so we'll see what can happen. I mean, damn, if you can take 2 or 3 from Texas, I wonder how Carolina fans will be feeling at that point. It's like, well, I mean, we did get swept by the rival, but we took 2 or 3 from literally the number 1 team in all of college baseball. So again, the season's far from over. You got to figure some things out very quickly, because the next 3 weekends you will get exposed. You will get exposed if you don't. But there's still a lot of opportunity left. So
Right. Exactly. And I don't know who the men's basketball team is playing in the conference tourney, but I do not have us winning.
Mississippi State.
I got
Mississippi State Thursday at 6 o'clock.
I got honestly, my prediction for that is, I mean, I think it'll be close, but I think I got us losing 77 to 75.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. That is fair. I'll have my prediction for you, my guy, on Thursday. But I think that's a fair prediction. I think it's going to be a great game, just because you look at how it played out in the regular season, and you lose big at their place. You beat them on your home floor, so now on the neutral site, who knows? Down in Tampa, but it'll be an interesting game. I mean, Iverson Molinar for them is a fantastic player, and they've got really, really good players. And they're a team that you have struggled against in the past. Again, although the last time you played them, you beat them. So the cat and mouse game too that'll be between those coaches, because again, you lose the first one, you change up your game plan, and you win the second one. That chess match of how much do you change up what you've been doing, it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be 100% honest, just like always. I'm honestly, if you would have told me this year that our overall record would be over 500 and our conference record would be right at 500, I would have called you crazy. I would have been like, "What kind of drugs have you been smoking?" Because we have not, in my opinion, even though yes, we have a regular, like our overall record is a winning record, and our conference record is 500. Just from the way that we have played, I am shocked at our record, because we have not played a majority of the season. We did not play up to our potential.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm truly shocked at the end result of both of our records. And whoever had us having a 500 record in conference play and winning record in the regular season, kudos to you.
Yeah, I had them at 6-12, my guy. So it's I know people didn't like really hearing me say it, but I mean the fact of the matter is we overachieved. I mean, which is crazy.
We definitely.
But we did. We overachieved.
I mean, I remember telling you several, like a couple of months ago. I don't see us this season ending well, but surprisingly, it did. And I still don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like you said before, Frank Martin is a great dude, a very likable fella. But I think his time here has ran its course. And I just don't think. I think we need to get some new blood in there and see how it goes, and just take it from there.
Indeed. I mean, we'll see how it shakes out, man. Like I said, I would bank on Frank being back next year, but that's just my take. That's just my opinion. So, we'll see.
Right.
There's a lot to evaluate. And again, as I said earlier, Robbie, I don't know if you were tuned in, but I'm just not sure that it's an
I
easy.
wasn't, because my phone was at like less than 50%, and if my phone's on YouTube, my phone dies like really quick. So that's why I haven't been watching.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
I was like, you know what? I'm going to call in right now. So.
Yeah. Well, I said it earlier that I don't know that it's really an easy answer when it comes to Gamecocks men's basketball. You know what I mean? In regards to what you should do.
Right.
But hey, if you're getting G.G. Jackson, I don't know how you can move on from him. That's a big if, but if you are, I don't know how you can move on from him.
If we somehow get G.G., I don't know what I'm going to think if we somehow get G.G.
Yeah, I mean, there seems to be a lot of positive momentum.
If we do get G.G., here's the issue. Here's the thing that concerns me. If we somehow do get G.G., say we do get G.G., okay? You got to have the right pieces around him in order to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I said the same thing about, and I'm like you also know, I'm a Steelers fan, so I hate the Browns. Okay, I hate the Browns, can't stand them. But I knew in my head that if the Browns if they put the right pieces around Baker Mayfield, the Browns could do something. And lo and behold, they put the pieces around Baker Mayfield, and they had a extremely good season. So if you put the right pieces together in any sport and put the right players together with the right, I guess you could say, coaching formula, you can succeed.
Indeed. I agree with you 100%.
So, but that's my 10 cents for the day. You have a great rest of your day, okay?
Robbie, I appreciate it as always, my friend. Always a pleasure chatting with you.
All right, you have a good one, okay?
You too, man. Take care. Great stuff, guys. We're going to jump into a quick break here. Great stuff from Robbie Davis as always, but I want to continue to hear from you all as well. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls. 843-790-3377. Guys, Gamecocks taking on Xavier in an hour and a half. And we now know who will start on the bump for today. Wesley Sweat will get the baseball. The lineup is officially out for South Carolina. Brant Belk leading off, playing center field, by the way. Braylon Wimmer in the 2-hole playing second. Michael Braswell slides the 3-hole. Of course, he's hitting .477 right now, good enough for third in the SEC. Again, he'll be at shortstop, swinging it in the 3-hole. Andrew Eister in the cleanup spot in right field. Josiah Seitler playing first in the 5-hole. Connor Sino getting the nod at DH in the 6-hole. Kevin Madden getting the nod at the hot corner in the 7-hole. And you got a pair of freshmen rounding it out. Carson Hornung in left in the 8-hole, and then Talmadge LeCroy behind the dish in the 9-hole. And like I said, Wesley Sweat on the bump for the Gamecocks. So, again, that is your rundown of the starting lineup. We will have that all out, especially on social media here shortly as we wrap up the Daily Crow. But, again, appreciate you all tuning in. Looking forward to getting out the yard. First pitch set for 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, first pitch, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Let's see. Again, guys, word of the day, battle. Let's find a way to go win a ball game, man. Who gives a damn? Let's just go win a ball game, give ourselves something to feel good about. Want to see the guys rally around each other and continue to fight through adversity. So looking forward to the game. Again, it's going to be fun to get back out the yard. Should be a pretty nice afternoon for it as the guys look to beat the weather. But, yeah, so. P-Mod, confirmed, not a fan of Lambros. Confirmed, not a fan. Not a fan of Lambros. I hear you. I don't know, man. At this point, it's about playing with the 9 you're putting out there and just trying to find that best combo to get something out of them, man. And what's crazy is, again, you look at the averages. I mean, they're not that terrible. Guys, the problem is you're not getting guys in when you get them on base. That's your problem. I mean, we all know what the problem is. So we all know what the problem is. Yeah, running in scoring position, the problem, hands down. No doubt. No doubt, my friend. No doubt. No doubt. By the way, let's congratulate Coach P-Mod on his first victory as a head coach last night. P-Mod, congratulations, my friend. Wish I could have been there, but I had some things going on, needed to take care of. But I will most certainly be making my way out to one of your games this year, and very happy for you and your ball club getting a W last night. Great stuff for P-Mod. Great stuff for P-Mod. We love to see that. We love to see that for P-Mod. Again, guys, those who may have tried to tune in on Facebook today, I do apologize. The Muschamp hackers getting after us on Facebook yet again. I mean, I don't know, man. We literally took music off of the intro to avoid any sort of copyright strikes or anything like that. And what happens today with a copyright strike in the intro? I don't understand how you can have a copyright strike for a muted video. But here we are. Here we are. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. I do not know. $17 stolen bags in y'all's game. What in the world? Get them on, get them over, AP Mod. Get them on, get them over. So apparently is Spotify down today? Is that what I'm seeing on Twitter? Spotify's down too? Like what? Technology's great until it isn't, man. Technology is great until it isn't. Well, it looks like I was able to go to the podcast on Spotify on my end, so I don't know. I don't know what might be going on with Spotify. Looks like all of Twitter, though, is freaking out over Spotify being down. So the hackers are on one today. The hackers are on one today for sure. Do we have any Falcons fans in the chat, by the way? Old Calvin Ridley getting suspended for the year for gambling $1,500 on his teams or whoever the heck he was gambling on. And he's going to lose a $10 million contract because of it. That stings, folks. That really stings. That really stings. That really, really stings. That's what you call a bad beat right there. That's what you call a bad beat for sure. Again, guys, quick reminder, check out the podcast that dropped this morning, episode 613. Full breakdown of the game coming up in about an hour and a half. Right after this, right after the Daily Crow, we're going to head down to Founders Park and get after it. But really excited. Really excited to do so. Going to be a good time. Excited to watch some baseball. And again, excited to hopefully, again, have something to feel good about. This past weekend was brutal. It was a tough one. It was a real tough one. And again, it's all about fighting through adversity and continuing to show up and approach things the right way and, you know, attack things positively. And I want to see this team do that. I want to see the leaders on this team step up and do that. The leaders on this team step up and do that. So. Again, guys, about 20 minutes or so to go here in the Daily Crow on this Tuesday. Yeah, and listen, Pima, there's a lot of things to be upset about with how this weekend went and how things have gone to this point. I will tell you this, too, something I did not touch on yesterday, and this is not deflecting at all. It's just the honest truth in regards to, you know, watching a baseball series and evaluating just what went down over the weekend. Maybe Clemson is really, really good this year. Maybe they are. I don't think they are. Maybe they are. But either way, it does feel like both programs are sort of a shell of what they used to be. Like I'm talking, you know, early 2010s, late 2000s, you know, being top 5, top 10 consistently every year. It does feel like the programs are a shell of themselves. So, you know, and also even Coastal Carolina's not ranked. I know Clemson's ranked now, but even Coastal's not. I don't know what has happened in the state of South Carolina in regards to, I don't know if it's the prep talent in the state, if it's not quite as good as it used to be. Are South Carolina and Clemson, they're just not getting those guys? Are a lot of guys going pro? But it doesn't feel like you're seeing the Jimmies and Joes out there quite as much anymore. And I'm not trying to knock anybody in our roster, guys. Obviously, we got some very talented players. But, you know, those sort of Gamecock legends that I think of, you know, and you just felt like every year South Carolina had like studs on studs, dude. Studs on studs. And I don't know that you look at this team with that sort of mentality. You know what I mean? And I don't look at Clemson that way either. So it's just interesting how both programs are sort of lost in the wilderness trying to find their way back to what they once were. And again, of course, you tip your cap because Clemson whooped your ass all weekend and there's nothing you can really say, but, you know, just tough. Just tough. Yes, PMod at North High School. Congratulations, sir. Again, your first W. Really proud of you, PMod. Incredible stuff. I think he said what, the youngest head coach. PMod's one of the youngest head coaches ever to be a head varsity coach. Incredible. Incredible. John Kruger saying Spotify is working for him. Good to know. Good to know. John, looking forward to having you at Founders Park this weekend, by the way. I know that you've we've already discussed it a good bit, but going to be a fun weekend at the yard, man. Going to be a fun night, fun day, I should say, today. Going to be a fun night at the yard as well, and who knows, man. Let's ride it out with this crew and see what happens. But it starts today. It starts today. You got to find a way today, respond the right way, be resilient, battle, fight through adversity. John Wilson says, give me these 5 Gamecock greats to compete. Tom Owens, Alex English, Tom Riker, Kevin Joyce, and Brian Winters. Alex English, what a legend he is, man. NBA Hall of Famer. Again, the fact that there's no Alex English statue outside of CLA to me is kind of crazy. I mean, when you have an alumni like that, it just so. But either way, whatever. Alex English, we had him on the show. Obviously, had him on the airwaves. Incredible dude, incredible person, great representative of Gamecocks basketball and the University of South Carolina. So really glad he's a Gamecock. Really, really glad he's a Gamecock. Again, guys, podcast drop this morning. Like I said, we're live at Tin Roof tomorrow. We've also got basketball on Thursday. We got baseball all weekend. Might be throwing a Rowdy Rooster tailgate on Saturday, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Kind of waiting to see what the weather is going to do. As John is mentioning, it might rain on Friday. Would they dare move that game back to a Saturday doubleheader? Like I said, we'll have to sort of wait and see. But I will let you guys know, obviously. I will keep you up to date. Also, we're planning some things with Carolina Ale House. They helped us through our tailgate on Friday for that game before the Clemson game. And I will say this, by the way, I didn't really mention it yesterday. Thank you to those who came out. Had a blast, had a really, really good time. Although the result was not what we wanted, had a really, really good time. So, again, thank you guys so much for the love and support and always supporting us in events like that. Really, really good stuff. Yeah, it looks like there's going to be rain all week in Columbia, or at least a chance of it. You got 74% chance of thunderstorms tomorrow, 65, 51, 68 over the next 3 days. And then Sunday is going to be sunny, but yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see how they navigate the weather. The weather here in Columbia over Friday and Saturday. Yeah, John. So if you have tickets to Friday and they move to Saturday, you'll actually be able to go to both, believe it or not. Because what they'll do is if you want to stick around for the second game, they'll just make sure, or you have to sit in the berm. At least that's how they did it the last time we had a doubleheader. If you've got a ticket for the second game and not the first, you can come into the first. You just have to sit standing room only or berm seating, and then that second game, obviously, you sit in your seat. So it actually works out kind of well. If you want to watch 2 baseball games, if they have a doubleheader, you're able to do that. So, guys, we are going to take one final break here, and then we'll take your questions, comments, calls, the final 10 minutes, and then we're going to head down to Founders Park. But again, guys, I do want to continue to hear from you, 843-790-3377. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more in our final break of the day. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. 843-790-3377. Final 10 minutes or so here on the Daily Crow. And yes, John Kruger, we just saw that Russell Wilson has been traded to the Denver Broncos. How about that? I didn't see that coming at all. I did not see that coming at all. Somebody said huge news. The Drew Lock era in Denver is over. Trade is pending a physical and Wilson's approval. Wild. That's pretty crazy. That's big. That shakes up the NFL a little bit. Brian Lattimore says, I bet your average fan doesn't even know who Alex English is unless they're older. We don't do a good job enough, or do a good enough job, he says, of showcasing our tradition. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you, Brian. I don't know why we've struggled at that for a little while, but I don't feel like we do either. And again, it's just like, listen, I mean, Asia Wilson deserves her statue, but I would like to think that Alex English also deserves a bit of recognition for his career. And I mean, especially again, I had somebody tell me like, oh, Alex English, he wasn't that great of a college player. Like, bro, I don't care how good of a college player he was. He's in the daggum NBA Hall of Fame. He deserves to be recognized, He deserves to be recognized. Bottom line, deserves to be recognized. So, anyways, though, there's many areas where we need to do a better job of showcasing that tradition. We need to do a better job of showcasing, where we have excelled. Let's see. Robbie Davis texts in, Chris, just want you to know I may be only 30, about to be 31, but I know who Alex English is. Go Gamecocks, and also he's in the Hall of Fame. Yes, Robbie Davis, you are correct. You are correct. Russell Wilson, a Seattle Seahawk. Unreal. Again, guys, first pitch for the Gamecocks upcoming a little bit over an hour now. Also, softball playing right now. They just took a 4-3 lead over Youngstown State, playing at the home park as well. Again, a big game for the Gamecocks, man. Got to bounce back. Bottom line. So, got to bounce back, bottom line. Here we go. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Brian.
It's getting easier to identify the spam callers before they actually get in. It's getting easier. Like I said, guys, earlier, spring football starting a week from today. Starting a week today, we'll count down, guys, the days to the spring game as well. Going to be one heck of a weekend. South going to take on Ole Miss that weekend at Founders Park as well. And, of course, that Saturday, a night spring game, 7 o'clock kickoff for the spring game. Going to be an incredible weekend in Gamecock country. But, again, for now, we're talking baseball as South going to take on Xavier in about an hour or so. And, again, yours truly going to be at the ballpark. So if you're there, would love to see you. Would love to say hey. But also, more NFL news. More NFL news. 3-year, $60 million contract extension for Mike Williams. Mike Williams of the Chargers. So, a lot of NFL. Is there a specific date for the NFL today? Because seems like a lot of NFL news is dropping today. I don't know. again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in, your love and support. Just continuing to tune in and show up every single day and chime in with your questions and your comments and everything else. It truly means the world. So I appreciate y'all. You guys make the Daily Crow what it is, and excited for what's to come the rest of this baseball season as well. So my guy John Rice, I don't know if he's seeing me right now. Facebook messing up, says he can't find it. Yeah, the I don't know. We're gonna have to solve that. I mean, if I've literally just got to take the intro video off, I mean, I'll do it. I don't want to do that, but I mean, dude, I'm just. So, yeah, I literally took the music off the intro, and because that was an issue, and now I don't know what in the world they were copywriting. So, I almost kind of feel like I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do at this point. Like I said, I love having a countdown. I do love having a countdown, but at the same time, like I don't want to have a countdown for the sake of the dang video getting ripped down. And yes, the music, John, I know you're asking me right now. The music was first made by my buddy. That one was a copyright strike. Then I had another Gamecock fan say he made his own mix that was free to use, good to go. That one wasn't able to be used. So I don't know what, people just, I don't know if they don't understand what copyright means, or that you can't use other people's music without their permission. What's weird is YouTube's not saying anything, and they're normally the worst about it. But then again, today, the music is muted, and it's still, so I'm going to take a look. I don't know. It makes absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. But you know what? We will continue to push through. We will continue to battle. We'll continue to fight through adversity, and just keep it moving. So I will figure it out. Chase Floyd says, real quick, Chris or chat, where can I find a baseball jersey? Yeah, I would suggest dhgate.com. Now, granted, it's going to take you a while to get it, but you're going to be able to order a jersey for like $25 or $30. You're going to be able to get whatever number and name on it you want. So it's going to be like a custom jersey. You can get obviously like any Gamecock. It's where I've gotten my jerseys. The quality is really, really good. So that's where I would suggest. That's where I would suggest dhgate.com. Yeah, that's where I would suggest going. So, Rebecca, you're all good. You're all good. We appreciate you tuning in either way. You're all good. You are all good. Again, guys, just a couple of minutes to go, and then we're going to head down to Founders Park. But again, couple quick reminders. Podcast dropped this morning. Check it out before first pitch at 3 o'clock. Full breakdown of the game. Also, of course, just content updates. Podcast Daily Crow rolling all week. You all know the drill. Again, we have migrated everything over to our Blue Wire podcast platform. So really excited for that, and apologize for anything that may have gotten the technical difficulties, technical issues. Technology is great until it isn't. Again, podcast Daily Crow all week. Will be at Tin Roof tomorrow night, covering basketball Thursday, baseball all weekend. You already know the drill. So again, it's going to be a very busy weekend in Gamecock Nation. But again, we love that. The beauty's in the banter, and it's truly a blessing to be busy, and looking forward to a ton of Gamecock sports this weekend. And hopefully that begins with a victory tonight over the Xavier Musketeers, and then we will talk about that on the podcast tomorrow and everything else. You already know the drill. Really, really good stuff. So again, I appreciate you all tuning in, guys. We're about to hit 2 o'clock. Rebecca, again, you're all good. Hey, you don't have to call in every single day. It's all good. No need to apologize, Rebecca. It's all good. We appreciate you tuning in either way. Again, guys, we have hit 2 o'clock. Appreciate y'all. Like I said, check out the podcast that dropped this morning. Stay tuned to all of our content, because again, we'll be out at Founders Park here shortly, and you already know content bleeding out the eyeballs. Folks, again, appreciate you all tuning in. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.